those cars like Optimus Prime and them, they do kind of the same thing. Anybody got an idea? Transformations. It doesn't even have to be like a maths answer. It could be an answer about just the word transformations in general. Anybody? I'm gonna wait and see if anybody has an idea. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a hint. All right, so a transformation, much like, you know, the movie Transformers. Have you guys watched Transformers before? Yes? Much like Transformers is when one thing, or if we have one thing over here, we do an operation to that thing and it comes out as another thing. Right? So when we change something from one thing to another, okay, that is basically what a transformation is. And we're going to be looking at different types of transformation today because there are different types of transformations that we can look at, right? So we can look at transformations in the x direction, right? So we can change some sort of value of x on a Cartesian plane, and I'm forgetting to explain that they normally come on a Cartesian plane. So we can take an x value and we can transform it from a positive x value into a negative x value. That's something that we can do, right? Or what we can do is we can take the y value and we can change the y value into a negative y value. That's something else that we can change. All right, another transformation that we can do is we can take both the x and the y value, and I'm hoping my pen will just work with me here. I can take both the x and the y value, and I can change them both to negative values, have a negative x value and have a negative y value. All right, or I can increase any of them by some sort of factor. Okay, I can either increase them by like 2. I can take my x and my y and I can go 2x, turn it into 2x and 2y. Or I can change both of them. I can take my x and my y and I can change them to negative 4x and negative 4y. Okay, but we're looking at transforming things anywhere on the Cartesian plane. I just want to make sure everybody understands what ma'am is getting at. Give me a thumbs up if you're okay-ish, because I am going to explain in a little bit more detail. But just give me a thumbs up if you guys are okay with what ma'am has said here, because I am going to explain it a little bit more as we go along. All right, how about we look at an example? I think an example would help us a lot more. And I'll show you what I mean when I say that. Okay. So, yes, that's it, Ratile. One of them is called a reflection, correct? And we're going to be looking at those today. All right, let's look at this question that we've got over here. It says, a picture of a car A is enlarged through the origin by a scale factor of 2. So let's go have a look. There is car A, the tiny little car down there. Sure, and this thing is fighting me for real. It's fighting me. Let's set pictures as background so that they don't move. Okay, I'm hoping that they will. All right, so if we look at this car, this tiny little car A down here, there it is. Okay, so the instruction says, maybe let me not toggle this, otherwise it's going to, yeah, all right. So it says here, a car is enlarged through the origin by a scale factor of 2. Car B is the image of car A after we've increased it by a scale factor of 2. So this car is our normal car, and car B is 2 times my normal car. Okay, car B is 2 times the normal car A. All right, let's keep reading. And then it says, car B is then enlarged through the origin by a scale factor of 3. And car C is the image of car B. So from car B, I'm going to change colors here quickly. From car B, car C is 3 times car B. All right, thumbs up. Does everybody understand what ma'am has written here? Yes? Let me actually add in a little bit more. Over here by 2 times, I'm going to add 2 times car A. Okay, that's what we're seeing here. All right, so let's look at the information that we've been given. It says the coordinates of the left front wheel of car A are 1 and 2. Now, if we've learned our coordinates when we were learning coordinate geometry and we were learning about X and Y, we know that this one down here, this one is our X value. Okay. Oh, guys, technology is fighting me today. Okay, I know that the 1 over there is the X value and the 2 is the Y value. That's what I know for a fact. Okay, let's look at the examples that they've got here for us, or the questions rather. Okay, question 1 says, write down the coordinates of the left front wheel of car B. Now, the thing is, we've got the left front wheel of car A. It's going to be 1, the X value, and the Y value, 2. Okay, now we want the left front wheel coordinates of car B. But we know that the coordinates of car B are 2 times the coordinates of A. Who wants to tell me what the coordinates of car B are going to be? That's it to me, absolutely. The answer that we're going to get is 1 times 2. So my X value is going to become 2. And my Y value is going to be 2 times 2, which means it'll be 4. So the left coordinate, or the left front wheel coordinates of car B are 2 and 4. Okay, now it says in question 2, complete the general rule. Okay, so there's always going to be a general rule when we're looking at these kinds of questions. So we know that we took X. What did we do to X? How did we get from 1 to 2? We took X and we times by 2. Right, we multiplied by 2. So if I have X and I take X and I multiply it by 2, I'm going to get 2X. Oh, I'm lying. I am so lying. Guys, let's not lie. Let's look at the question properly because...
No, I'll ask you after class.
Sorry, say that again. I didn't quite get that. I think somebody's unmuted, and I don't know if they're talking to me or they're talking to someone in the background. I'm writing this in the wrong area. Okay. I just need to pick who's unmuted because I need to mute that person. Okay. I'm just going to mute here quickly. Okay, there we go. That's much better. Okay. So, and I was correct, actually. I just thought maybe I wasn't seeing the right things. Okay, so yes, how do we get from A to B? We need to multiply by 2. So how do I get from X or from A to B? My X value is that, so I need to go 2X over here. My answer is going to be 2X. For B, this is 2X. All right, and the general rule for my Y, I know to get from 2 to 4, I need to multiply by 2. So my answer will be 2Y. Thumbs up. Everybody understand that? Are we okay with that? Yes. Quite nice and simple. All right. Now the next one says, write down the coordinates of the left front wheel of car C. Okay, so now we want car C. And we know that the left front wheel, I'm just going to add in here the left front wheel coordinates for car B, that's 2 and 4. Now the information says that car B is then enlarged to the origin by a scale factor of 3. It's a scale factor of 3. So I know that we're going to increase those values by 3. We're going to take those values and we're going to multiply by 3 times 3 times 3. And that's how we're going to get the answers for car C. So anybody got an answer for me? what would we write for the coordinates of car C? What would we write over here for the left front wheel of car C? If I have to take each of those and multiply them by 3, what would I get? That's it, Botale. Absolutely. I would get 2 times 3, which would give me 6, and 4 times 3, which would give me 12. All right. Okay, because we're just multiplying by 3. It's been enlarged by a scale factor of 3. So I know that the coordinates are going to be 6 and 12 over there. Now it says complete the general rule. But I want us to look very carefully at the way that they've written the rule. In the first question, in question 2, they've said to us they want the transformation from A to B. Now, in this one that we're looking at over here, they don't want the transformation from B to C. They want the transformation from A all the way to C. So they don't want us to use car B. They want us to use the coordinates of car C. So we need to figure out, how did we get from 1 to 2 all the way to 6, 12? What did we do? How did I get from 1, 2 to 6, 12? What did I multiply? What scale factor did I use there? Anybody want to venture a guess? Not quite 3 to me. Not quite 3. Okay, let's do the math really quickly. We can do the math together. Okay, so I know to get from A, let me pick a different color. That's it. Yes, that's correct, Bukale. So I know to get from A to B, I times by 2. And to get from B to C, I times by 3. So times 2 times 3. That means if I want to go from A straight to C without having to stop at B, what do I need to multiply by to get all the way straight to C? From A straight to C, skipping B. I know that to get from A to B, I times by 2, and then I times by 3. So all together, I just have to multiply by 6. Does that make sense, grade 9s? Are we okay? Yes? Okay, amazing. So my scale factor over here is going to be X, and I know I've multiplied it by 6 to get to C. So this will be X is to 6X, and my Y will be Y is to 6Y. Okay. All right, let's look at the last 3 questions. They're quite simple. We should be able to answer them. Nothing too difficult here. It says, how much bigger, I want us to focus on that word, how much bigger is car B than car A? Let's try and find the English to this math. So we can say car B is what more than 2 times? Good. We can say 2 times more than car A, or we can say it's twice as big. We can say both of those. 2 times as big as car A, or 2 times bigger, or twice as big as car A. Right? And then the next question says, how much bigger is car C than car B? What do we notice? Remember, we're comparing car B and car C. We are comparing car B and car C, and my handwriting is just getting out of control. This is just not it. That's it. It's 3 times. 3 times as big. Okay, so we can say C is 3 times as big as B, as car B. And then they ask us, how much bigger is car C than car A? So we're comparing big car to small car. That's it. So we know that C is 6 times as big as car A. Okay. I just want to make sure everybody's okay with what ma'am has just done. Are we all good? Thumbs up. Amazing. Awesome stuff. All right, let's see if you guys can do one of these examples yourselves. Let's see if we can do something on our own. Okay, so this one is a little bit more tricky, but it follows the same kind of idea. Okay, let's read it together. I'm just going to help you guys read the information and look at the information on the drawing, but I'm going to be so quiet. Just I'm not going to say anything. All right, so information says, I just need to do that quickly. We are given the following triangle, ABC, with vertices. Vertices just means corners of a triangle, or corners. That's what vertices means. Vertices A, and they tell us that A is 1 and 3. B is 0, 0, which is also known as the origin of my Cartesian plane. And C is 4 and minus 1. All right. Now, question 1 says, if triangle BDE is the enlargement of triangle ABC by a factor of 2, give the coordinates of point D, which is that one over there, and E, which is that one over there. All right, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, because this actually, I'll give you guys 1 minute, because this is such an easy question. I'm going to give you guys exactly 1 minute and counting. You can pop the answers in the chat, or you need to be writing this down, remember? Okay, or if anybody's brave enough to unmute and give ma'am the answers, I would love that. That would be really lovely. Tell me what we're thinking. Look again, Bukhale. Don't overthink it. I promise it's not that deep. There it is. That's it, Jimmy. Good. That's it. Bukhale, look at Jimmy's answer and kind of try to see where she's coming from. He or she. I don't know if Jimmy's a he or she. Sorry, Jimmy. All right. Don't forget to do E as well. Good, Antile. That's it, to me. That's correct, Bongumusa. That's it. Yes, which that means we're going to multiply each of the coordinates by 2 to get the coordinates for D and E. All right, let's look at the answers here. Okay, so this question says that they've enlarged triangle ABC by a factor of 2, which means all the coordinates that I'm going to get, just make this a little bit smaller, for D and E are just going to be 2 times what I have for the coordinates next to them. So if A is 1, 3, that means that D is just going to be 2 times each of those. So the X value for D will be 1 times 2, which is 2. And the Y value is just going to be 3 times 2, which is 6. There we go. All right, that's the D coordinates. The E coordinates, we're going to do the exact same thing, just with the C values. So I know that 4 is my X value. 4 times 2 will give me 8. And my y value is -1, and -1 times 2 will give me -2 minus, oh, look at what's happening here, minus 2. All right, did we win, grade 9s? Yes? Did we manage? Yay, nice and easy. All right. Okay, let's answer question B. I like question B. Question B says, why doesn't B's coordinate change? Why doesn't B's coordinates change? Who knows? I will accept two different answers, but one of them is the more obvious one, and the other one we can calculate. That's it. Do me exactly. I can say that it's the origin, yes, but we need to be a little bit more specific. It has something to do, and I'm going to be boring and bring up other things that we learned a while back. It has something to do with similar triangles. It has something to do with similar triangles. Anybody, or have we completely forgotten? I'm sure when I said similar triangles, everybody was like, oh, ma'am, yo, ma'am, don't bring up those things right now, ma'am. Yo, I don't remember anything, ma'am. Please don't start. Why are you even bringing up old things? It's not proportion. We're almost there. All right. Here's the thing about some of the similar triangles that we used to work with, right? I know that if I've ordered my triangles properly and they both have B in them, what do we call that? We say that B is what? B is, if they both have that point B, B is what? It starts with a C. I'll remind you guys. B is C. Starts with a C. And ends with omen. Okay? Starts with a C and ends with omen. So B is common. I think we've all forgotten. They're like, yo, ma'am, now I must flip back through everything that I was doing, ma'am. I don't remember. B is common, right? If I map out both of my triangles, both of them have B. Are we in agreement? Yes, thumbs up. Yes? Everyone okay with that? If I map out triangle A, B, C, and I don't understand why my dogs are barking their heads off, A, B, C, and I also map out triangle D, B, E. Do you see how they both have B in common? So the coordinates for both of them at B need to be the same. They're going to have to be the same because they share that point, right? But also, let's go ahead and take the coordinates of B. So let's take 0, 0 and increase the coordinates of 0, 0 by a scale factor of 2 for me. Just do that for me very quickly. As an experiment, go and increase the coordinates there. The coordinates 0, 0, increase them by 2 for me. Multiply them by 2. What are we going to get? We're going to get 0, 0. It won't make a difference. 0 times 2 is just going to give me 0. And 0 times 2 will just give me 0. So my point, because it's common, will not change. Okay, thumbs up, grade 9. Does that make sense? Are we all good? All okay? Amazing, good. It'll all be the same. All right, okay, so now here is your job. I'm going to stop talking. Okay, I know I have a beautiful voice, but I'm going to stop talking for a few seconds, and I'm going to give you guys a chance to do some work. Okay, instead of having to listen to my melodious voice, here's some work for you guys. Here's what we're going to do. You're going to redraw the Cartesian plane with triangle ABC and triangle BDE and draw the following on it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to redraw the Cartesian plane with this exact triangle. You're going to pop me either an emoji on the screen, or you're going to put an emoji in the chat when you're ready so that you can answer the questions about it really quickly. Okay, so let's start with drawing because I want to help you guys through the questions. So just draw them and then we'll have a chat. Okay, let me know when you're done, grade 9s. Not quite to me, but we'll chat about it in just a little bit. All right, guys, can I get started? Are we ready, guys? It doesn't have to be a work of art. You must also see my drawings. They suck, guys. I'm not very good at it. Doesn't have to be a work of art. Can I give you guys 10 seconds? Finish up, make it look nice, and then we're gonna start answering the question. Yes? Let's do it, guys. Come on. Let's go. All right. Okay, Bongumusa, we'll chat. We will chat. All right, guys. Let's have a look quickly at this question over here. All right, so we must have redrawn this, and it must be looking nice and pretty in our on our paper right now. And then the first question says, okay, draw the following on it with the correct image coordinates for triangle ABC reflected about the x-axis. And we're going to talk about quite a few of these things. First thing is reflected. We should know what a reflection is. And the second thing is we should know what about the x-axis means. Okay, let's start with a reflection. Thumbs up. Does everybody know what a reflection is? Yes? Are we all familiar? It's not surprising, yes. A reflection is like looking at yourself in the mirror, right? So we're using something as our reflection. And now when they say we need to reflect this about the x-axis, what they're technically saying is use the x-axis as your mirror. That's what they're saying. Use the x-axis as your mirror. Okay. So, and I'm going to explain what this will do as we're going along. All right. So we're just going to look at triangle ABC. So I'm going to start with point A. All right. Let's start with point A. Now, if I take X, the x-axis over here, and I use it as my mirror, I know what's going to happen is this point needs to come down here. Thumbs up. Are we all in agreement? Yes? We okay with that idea? That it would have to flip and come that side, like a mirror image, right? So let's look at exactly what happens at this very point. At this point, I know that my X value does not change. Why does my X value not change? Because over here, my X value is in the positive X-axis, and over here, my Y value is still in the positive X-axis. So my Y value doesn't change. My Y value is still going to be 1 for this point here. But what's happened to my X value? I mean, to my Y value, not my X value. What's happened to my X value? My X value, because remember, this is the positive Y, and this over here is the negative Y axis. My Y value has come down onto the negative Y side of my coordinate, right? It's come over here. I think I've put it in the wrong place. 1, 2, 3. My point should actually be over here. All right. So because it's a mirror image, if my Y value was positive 3 over there, when I flip it, it just needs to become negative 3. Okay, just negative 3. So my new coordinate for A, which we write like this, we say A with a little apostrophe to show that it's been transformed, is going to be 1 and negative 3. Okay. Thumbs up. Everybody still okay here? Are we okay with what ma'am's explained? Lovely. Let's do the same for point C. By the way, who can tell me why am I not worried about point B? Why am I not worried about point B? It is common, yes, but where exactly is it sitting? On the what? Not because it's, it's on the origin. It's already sitting on the x-axis. So how am I going to reflect something that's sitting on my mirror? That's not possible. I can't reflect something that's sitting on my mirror. it's just going to sit there. I can't move it. So it won't need to be transformed. But we know that we're going to need to transform point C. Now, if I transform point C about the x-axis, which is this way, right? I know that my x value is positive 4, and my x value for the transformation is still on the positive side. So it's also going to be positive 4. So for C, I'm going to have C with a little apostrophe to show that it's been reflected. Let me just draw that a little bit better. Take that other stuff out of the way. Okay. Oh, and my pen is being very finicky right now. All right, see, I know that my y value will not change, but let me ask this rather. I know that my x value will change, but my y value is -1. It's on the negative side. If I reflect it upwards, what is it going to become? What's going to happen to it? What is it going to be? That's it. It's going to be 1, Andile, and you're not wrong. Of course, it's going to go from -1 to +1. Okay, just like that. I just want to make sure I get the point in the exact place, because what we're going to do now is we're going to connect the dots. So let's connect the dots. Okay, and if you look at it properly, it just looks like an upside down version of the original ABC. Yes? Are we in agreement? It just looks like an upside down version of the original one that we had. Right, because we've reflected it about our mirror. Okay, now I want to see if you guys can do this one all your own. Here's the next one. Number 2 says, reflect triangle BDE is reflected about the y-axis. So this time we're going to use the y-axis as our mirror. Just let me gauge quickly. Give me a thumbs up. Will you guys be able to do this on your own? Or thumbs down? Do you want ma'am to help you guys along with this one? How are we feeling? Jimmy says yes, but that's 1 thumbs up. What about everybody else? Bongo Musa says yes. And Dile's like, no ma'am. Okay, I'm getting quite a few no ma'ams. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Dumi and Bongo Musa, do you guys want to go ahead and try it without me? Go ahead and do it. I'm going to work with everyone else. Is that okay? We can come to that compromise? Yes? Okay, lovely. If you feel like you know what you're doing, go for it. The rest of us, let's stick together. Let's go. All right. So we're told that we need to reflect triangle BDE about the y-axis. So I know that my new mirror is going to be the y-axis. Okay, that's my new mirror. So again, B is not going to move. B is already on my mirror. It's already on the y-axis. It's not going to move. So we're going to move point D and point E. Let's start with point D. If I take point D and I reflect it about my y-axis, it's going to end up on this side. Let me ask you now, grade 9s, which of my values is going to stay the same? The x value or the y value? Which one will stay the same? Yes, Butale, absolutely my y. Let's think about it. Because this is 6, it's positive 6. When I come to this side, I'm still in the positive y-axis. So this will stay positive 6. Thumbs up, grade 9s. Does that make sense? Are we all okay? My y's will stay exactly the same because I'm still in the positive y side. So I know for a fact that on this side, I'm still going to get positive 6. Positive 6. And this is D prime. Okay, but look at what's happened to my x values. My x has gone from the positive x side to the negative x side. So what is my, that's it to me. All right, what is my x value going to be? Everybody agree? It's going to go from 2 to -2. Right, so it's going to move from 2 to -2. That's it. I'm going to get -2 on this side. All right, let's try with E. Remember, we're reflecting triangle BDE. We've moved D. So let's take E over to the other side. So we're going to reflect, bring it over to this side, right? And we're going to find that the point that we have, I'm not even able to see the point, I don't think. Okay, the point that we have is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's all the way over there. I'm not going to be able to see it. So I'm just going to put a dot over here. Okay, what's going to stay the same? I've got a negative y value over here. I'm in the negative y value side. On this side, I'm still on the negative y value side. So I'm going to open brackets. My y value is going to stay the same. I'm on the negative y. I'm still on the negative y. So my y value is still going to be -2. But now look at what's happened to my x value. My x value has moved from the positive x side over to the negative x side. So it's no longer going to be +8. It's going to go over to the other side and become -8. So over here, I will have -8. Okay, and then we can connect the dots. Remember, my B doesn't move. It's already stuck to the origin. There we go. My drawing could be better, I'll admit. But I'm a maths teacher and not an art teacher. So it's fine, however my drawings look is fine. Okay. All right. Okay, how are we feeling? Thumbs down, thumbs up. Are we okay with reflections? Amazing, amazing. Okay, let's look at this next one. This one is quite difficult. I'm going to erase a lot of what we have on the screen already because I need us to see this next one quite clearly. Okay. Sure, and this thing isn't actually erasing. I'm very mad. Come on now. Hey guys, the day technology starts fighting you, you know you're not doing well in life when technology just isn't doing the things for you. Okay, all right, fine. Okay, it doesn't want. It doesn't want, guys. We need to chat to, I don't know, who do we chat to? Mark Zuckerberg? I don't know who we chat to, but somebody needs to make this right. Okay, let's look at this next one here. The next one says, triangle ABC is reflected about the line y is equal to x. Y is equal to x. Okay, so let's think about what this actually means. All right, I'm going to explain it mathematically. And then when I'm done explaining it mathematically, I'm going to explain it graphically, okay? Or no, let me do graphically first, and then I'll explain it mathematically. Now, I know if I was paying attention, and I'm so sorry, guys, this is going to keep happening over and over again. I know that if I was paying attention at school, when they were talking about straight lines, I know that y is equal to mx plus c is the equation of a straight line. Yes, thumbs up? Are we aware of this? Good. All right. So if they say to me that y is equal to x, if they tell me that y is equal to x, I can actually go and plot the line, the straight line of y is equal to x, because it's quite easy. All it means is whatever my x value is, that's what my y value is. So if my x value is 1, y will also be 1. So I can go and put a coordinate, a dot at 1, 1. And if my x value is 2, then my y value will also be 2. So I can go to the coordinate at x is 2 and y is 2, and I can draw a dot. Also, if my x value is 3, then my y value is also equal to 3, because if x is 3, y is equal to whatever x is equal to. So if x is 3, y will also be 3. And I can draw a straight line through the origin, because if x is 0, y is 0. So my line will look like that. Thumbs up. Yes? Are we all in agreement? Right, because it's the equation of a straight line with a gradient of x. That's what it is. It's just the equation of a straight line with the gradient of 1x. Sorry, of 1. The gradient is 1. All right. So I now know that I have to use this as a mirror. Okay. Yeah, guys. Sorry, technology is no longer my friend. I don't know. I'm trying, guys. I swear, I promise. I really am crying. No, it doesn't matter. You can make it a dotted line because technically it is our mirror. So yes, absolutely, you can make it just a dotted line and it will be fine. Okay, so don't stress. Yes, you can make it a dotted line. All right, so this is our mirror. Now, the problem here is that if I'm looking at my mirror graphically, it's so hard for me to figure out, like, guys, how am I going to figure out what A needs to transform to on this side? Like, if I need to take A and put it on this side, how am I going to figure that out? Me, personally, I don't know. I can't see it. I can't see it. But what I do know for a fact is that they've told me that my y value is equal to my x value. So what I know is that what I can do is I can just take my two values and swap them around. So what I mean by that is if x is equal to 1, on the other side, y will equal 1. And if y is equal to 3, on the other side, x will equal to 3. Thumbs up. Does that make sense? Yes? They've told me that these two values are equal to each other. So if y is equal to x, if x is 1, y is then going to be 1. And if y is 3, x will then equal 3. Right. So let's do the same with C. If my x value is 4, then that becomes my y value on the other side, right? So if x is equal to 4, on the other side, y will equal to 4, which means 4 will be down y. Oh, y is 4. That's somewhere over there. There, right? Okay. And if my y value is -1, then my x value will become -1. And that's why ma'am has drawn this dot on the negative side, because that's exactly what it is that we've got. All right. So I know that my coordinates have just kind of swapped places. So this then becomes, my x value was 4, so my y value is now 4. And my y value was -1, therefore my x value then becomes -1. And so when I draw this, this is what it looks like. Okay, I hope I drew it nicely. Does it show? Yes? Does it show a little bit what ma'am is saying? Yeah, it kind of does. I'm an okay artist. I'm just okay. Yeah, I'm just okay. But we can see it. We can see it. It's kind of like it's the mirror image of my y equals x is kind of there. All right, can I ask you guys then to find me the two coordinates for D and E reflected about the line y is equal to x? Find me those two coordinates, please. Okay, pop your answers in the chat once you've got them. What are the original coordinates there? Oh, yes, sorry. I've erased them. I'm so sorry. Let me put them back. Okay, so the original coordinates for D was 2 and 6, and E, the original coordinates was 8 and -2. There they are. Sorry, guys. I completely forgot that I erased them. Sorry. There we go. Okay, lovely. Good one, Dumi. Keep going. Come on, guys. We got this. I know you've got the answers. I feel like some of you guys just don't want to put the answers in the chat, but you got them. I know you do. Okay, remember to me, don't just write D equals. You need to write D with a little apostrophe. So D prime, like that, to show that it's actually the transformation and not the original. Okay, it's important that we show the difference. Got it? That's it, Bukale. Nicely done. That's it, Linomta. Oh, and Linomta remembered the apostrophe. Very nice. I like it. Very nice. Okay, let's transform these. Are we ready, guys? Okay, so I'm going to then take D, and I know I'm going to take my X value and make it my Y value, and my Y value and make it my X value. So my X value is now my Y value. So my Y value is now 2. Sure, this is going to get so messy. It's going to be there. And my Y value is now my X value, so 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, guys, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. 6, 2, which is thereabouts there. So my new coordinate for D prime, write that again, D prime is 6 and 2, 2. Okay, and my E value will be -2 and 8. So my -2 is my X value, so over there, and 8 is my Y value, so all the way up there at the top there. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to make it up because there's no space anymore. So E prime is going to be -2, 8. Sure. My stylus is fighting me. -2, 8. All right, let's see if we can connect them. Hopefully I can do a good job. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, no, guys, it works. It looks okay. It does the things. It kind of sort of looks, yes. All right, you guys get the idea, right? We see it. We see it. It's there. It's there. There's a reflection-ish kind of there. All right, shall we look at the last question? Yes, so we can run away from Mam's terrible drawings. Okay. All right. So let's look at this last one. It says, triangle BDE is translated 3 units down and 1 unit to the left. Okay, 3 units down. I'm going to write it up there. Let me write it up here so that we don't have to like come all the way down here. So let me get a pen. So we know we want 3 units down and 1 to the left. I'm going to keep that there so that we know exactly what it is that we're transforming. 1 to the left. Okay, I'm going to erase all of this other stuff that's going on the screen because I need the space. All right. So let's talk about this quickly. If I say that I'm moving something 3 units down, is it moving in my X values? Is it moving along my X-axis or is it moving along my Y-axis? Which one is it moving along? That's it. Correct. Are we all in agreement with Dumi's and Andile's idea? Yes. That if I'm moving something up or down, it needs to move on the Y-axis, right? Because the Y-axis is the one that tells us how to move up or down, right? So that 3 units down is only going to apply to our Y values for D and B, because B also needs to move. B will not stay in the same place anymore because we're not reflecting. B will also have to move. Okay, let me put those values back in. This over here is 2, 6. And this over here is 8 and -2. All right, so let's go ahead and move all our Y values 3 units down. So I know over here, my y value is 6. If I move it 3 units down, that becomes 3. But we're not going to put it in coordinates yet because we still need to move the y value. The x value. Right, that's D. E also needs to move 3 units down. So my E value is at the moment, it's at -2. If I move it 3 units down, where does it go, grade 9s? To what value? -2, 3 units down, where does it go? It can't go to a positive number, I'll tell you that. It needs to go further negative, right? So if I -3 from -2, what do I get? -5. That's it. I should get -5. Okay, but we're not done. It's not going to be 0 to me. We're going further down. So further negative. All right, then we're going to do the same for B. Yes, B, my y value for B is 0. If I move 0 3 units down, where do I end up? At what value? Just count backwards by 3, guys. Let's count 3 numbers backwards. From 0, we're going to go to -1, -2, -3. There, I've moved it 3 units down. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me there? Right, I've just moved it 3 units down. So my y value is now -3. But we are not done. We are not done. Because now we still need to move 1 unit to the left. And that's not going to affect my y values. Left and right is going to affect my x values. Are we in agreement? My values are going to move left or right. All right, so let's go ahead and move our x values 1 unit to the left. Okay, so now over here, I have 2. If I move it 1 unit to the left, that's more to the negative side. So 2 minus 1 is going to give me 1. There's my new coordinate. Over here, I've got 8. If I move 1 to the left, I'm going to end up at 7. There's my new coordinate. If I'm at 0 and I move 1 unit to the left, I'm going to end up at -1. And there are the 3 coordinates that I'm actually looking for. -3 and -1 will be here. 1 and -3, 1 and 3 will be over here. Oh, 1 and 3 is where A is exactly where A is now. So where A is sitting, that's where the new D is. D is sitting right there, where A is. Okay, and then 7 would be over there, and -5 would be down here. 7 and -5. So now, if I draw my triangle, there is my triangle, just moved slightly down and slightly that way. Right? And I have to go because time is 100% up. Thank you so much.